Welcome back to the live, people. If you're still broke as a plumber, you might be ignoring the science. My name is Mr. London Plumber and welcome to the channel, people. I want to start this episode off a little bit different tonight with the conversation because I know that everyone is feeling the pinch, right? The cost of living, working, and the economy is not exactly flying, right? But if you're in a trade like plumbing, heating, electrician, you're actually in a better opportunity than most other people, right? And the question is, are you not seeing the signs, or are you not seeing the science and ignoring it, or are you just, going through the motion? So tonight I want to talk about the science behind everything, right? And this is like the things people just don't see. And I say it's the science because it's what marries everything up together within the trade. So, hope everyone is well, actually, on the live, and I appreciate you guys for coming in tonight to checking out the live stream tonight. Always appreciate all of you lot who subscribe, like, and share all of the content and drop comments as well, telling me from, where you're watching this episode from and what you enjoy about it. I've got some questions for you guys coming up a little later in this live stream today. So we're going to talk about the science, yeah, and what I mean by that. There are thousands of people that earn great money, right? But why don't you ever ask yourself, why isn't one of them people yourself? Why am I not killing it? Why am I always flattering others, right? And the success has a method sometimes, and it has an answer, right? So where can we get the clues from to be able to create a great business or a model from? Because let's be honest, innit? Most plumbers are just doing job to job within the trade, right? They go home, they rinse, they repeat. They wait for work to start, they come home, and then they wait on Friday to get paid. And then they just repeat over and over again. So what no one is discussing with most of the plumbers and the tradespeople, that is how to actually run a business. And I've been in the trade for over 23 years, yeah? Making YouTube videos, sitting, finding out, researching, understanding the things what I need to do as a business owner has definitely changed the way I look at business, changed the way how I approach most situations. So because I tell people things on social media, right, like my YouTube channel, how to do videos, I tell people about using social media to be able to leverage your company and stuff like that. I've learned those things myself, and people have came to me over the years and said, oh, would you run my social media? And I didn't have a clue what they would want me to do, right? But I was doing it for myself, but I didn't know what I was doing. I was just being consistent and turning up, and I had a lot of eyeballs on my Instagram, and that led to a lot of work being created because people have just seen me pop up. Oh mate, yeah, I've got a job for you if you want. And that just kept on building up. And what I didn't know is I was marketing myself, right? But that's something that I've picked up during my journey. I know it's going to be different for everybody, but I'm just going to try and talk to you about the points which I feel are very necessary to talk about. Nobody teaches you about business, right? So when you go to college, you learn the basics of your trade, no matter if it's carpentry, no matter if you're an electrician, no matter if you're a plumber, right? You're going to learn the basics. And then when you get out on the field is when you start to learn more of your craft, right? And then you learn how to do stuff more efficiently, or you learn a better method on what you was taught originally in college. Nobody teaches you marketing, right? And when nobody teaches you marketing, you ask yourself, how would I promote my own company? Like, what would I do? Would I go to Facebook? Would I go to Instagram? Or would I use YouTube? Or would I use any of these platforms to promote my business? We are all unsure about what to do, right? And it's okay to be in that space as well, because it happens to a lot of us. We're unsure of what we're going to do because I've got an idea, I want to put it out, not really used social media before, but I think that it will be successful. You have to ask yourself, what do you know about marketing? And another big hurdle for most tradespeople is pricing, right? Pricing, when it comes to jobs, labour, material, cost, overheads, this is something which is never taught in colleges. This is something which most people pick up from others. Most people look at other people's hourly rate and copy it. I've said this before in videos before. Customer service. This is something which is never taught to most tradespeople, because it's not to think that your only customer is going to be like your site manager or something like that. You could have Mrs. Smith who needs you to fix her tap down the road. So you're going to have to learn customer service at some point, innit? Another thing to talk about, which is personal branding, right? And I've been through many years of personal branding, of building Mr. London Plumber, for people who have never ever seen it before, right? I think I've been doing social media for nearly about, what I say 10? Maybe 10 years nearly, you know? A long time. And I've managed to build a personal brand which is called Mr. London Plumber. Hence, this is what it's about. Mr. London Plumber brand is generally, it's me. And in school, you're not going to learn any of the things which I spoke about. You're not going to learn customer service in school. You're not going to learn marketing in school. You're not going to learn it in college neither. Employers, your employer doesn't really probably do most of those things, what you need to do to be able to flourish. Your normal learning after marketing can result sometimes into it can be expensive sometimes. You know, when you're trying to market yourself and you don't know what to do, you could end up wasting your money in so many different pockets. I see so many people spend money on advertisement and stuff like that, and leads and stuff like that, but I'm going to talk about that at the end of the video. Give yourself your freedom. And this is something which a lot of us don't understand, but this is some people's massive, this is some people's biggest downfall, is the trade gives you your own freedom, right? You're working where you work because you're a skilled tradesperson, yeah? People need people in all of these different corners of the world. But your trade can actually give you your freedom. Your trade could have you living out in Canada. Your trade could have you living out in Australia. But it could be the answer to freedom. It could be the answer to endless amount of overtime, you know. So your trade will definitely teach you a few things, right? It's going to teach you how to move within your social groups, right? So often I find a lot of plumbers are quite cliquey. You know, if they like you, they like you. If they don't, they don't, you know. I say plumbers are like a cat of the jungle or something. You know what I mean? You rarely see them with other plumbers, or just be on their own. That's what I think anyway. Tell me what you guys think. So what your trade can give you, yeah, is it can give you the skill and the ability to be able to work anywhere where you want, right? You can start your own company, because I think that is something which a lot of tradespeople like the idea of doing, but can't always get it right. And that's why I've kind of tried to make this video not a dig, because if you haven't made it and you're a tradesperson and you haven't been successful, again, I say that there are some signs what you miss, and if you're not in tune to what's going on, like how do you ever expect to win in this industry? Do you get it? You got to be tapped in. So teaching is definitely something that your trade can give you. I went into teaching for a couple of years, which I enjoyed. You can become a project manager. You can work on major infrastructures going on. Most people without a trade do not have these opportunities given to them. People with a trade have these opportunities, which I went through. They can chase better contracts. That's something which I've spent a lot of my time doing, which is chasing the money, you know. And at some points it's paid off quite well in life for me, and at other points it's been like, you know, I've had slow seasons. I've told you guys. I just like to be super honest on my channel about how it's went for me. Right, now we're moving on to the next section. I hope everyone's enjoying the live. I'm trying to keep it going in a flowy way, even though it's super hot in here. I don't know what I can do, if I can turn down my lights a little bit, because I'm baking. That's a little bit better. Right. Stop admiring others' success. So stop admiring other people's success, yeah? When is it going to be your turn? There's always a site somewhere where someone will tell you, oh, you know, my mate's out in Australia earning £500 a day. And there are lads and guys out there that are earning 6 figures, and they're doing really well. But the question is, why are they doing well, and why can't you be doing well? Because it's all possible, you know. I think you've always got to take the leap and the step to be able to put yourself in that frame of mind and allow those things obviously to be an option. I've not allowed them to be an option because I felt like I always wanted to be around my family, my partner and stuff like that. So I've never explored working abroad, and I know I want to, so I'm never going to rule it out. Let me talk about something what I don't hear a lot of people talking about, and this is why my YouTube channel is always very different to others, because I speak the truth. I don't have a reason to come on the internet and tell bogus stuff. I don't have time for it. Failure is part of learning. A lot of people like to clown others instead of telling them what the right thing is to do. I think I've seen a lot more of that through social media content than the uplifting mentor who's supposed to say, well, you know, if you use that type of glue, it's gonna go off at this point. You should use this brand because this is a lot better. It gives you a lot more time to be able to set your fittings in before you glue them up. It's just helpful advice. When I was coming up here, I had a lot of helpful advice from pages like World Plumbers. Yeah, shout out John from World Plumbers. He always connected me with other plumbers from all over the world. You know, so that's a good Instagram channel to go and check out. World Plumbers. So nobody starts off knowing how to quote jobs, right? You get there and you think to yourself, I'm not sure how much I'm going to charge Mrs. Smith, but I need X amount because the day kind of costs this much. Is that a realistic answer of what your running cost is per day? Until I started to work out what it cost me to run Mr. London Plumber a day, I didn't have a clue. So again, failure is part of learning. You got to deep it like that. You can't just think that like, oh, I'm a dummy because I don't know. You're not. Most people do not know how to sell, right? And because I have had a period of doing social media content and working with brands here, I've learned how to sell a lot of different items, whether they be clothes, whether they be tools and stuff like that, which I've done loads of reviews on. And I've learned how to run a business, because that's another thing that people fail on, because they don't know how to run a business and how to manage money as well. Imagine someone who don't get dough in life, yeah, who, you know, mediocre money in life, never really seen 10, 15 or even 50 or 60 grand, right? Or 100 grand, right? When you do get jobs coming in and you're saying, oh my God, I've got this money coming in, I've got that money coming in, I'm gonna buy a Defender, I'm gonna buy this, I'm gonna buy that, I'm taking my bird out, Miller and Carter, we're getting rollies, we're getting this, we're getting that. You not understanding that a portion of your money has to go to tax, and you're not sure how much it is, but you're out here spending, doing up Miller and Carter, trying to get yourself a bit of wagyu. Like I said, failure is a part of learning. I have got so many different stories, what are like personal stories, where I've failed with managing money at times of jobs because I've not given myself enough breathing room. I've not said to someone, I'm going to take half of the money up front and take the rest when the job is completed, right? I've had to learn different processes myself. So when I do go out to quote someone, my time is quoted inside that as well. And no quotations are free. That's kind of something that I've learned, because petrol isn't free as well. So knowing how to upsell products, whether it be we're installing a bathroom and I'm going to say, oh, why don't you get a softener in there? Or why don't you do this with your taps? Because that will make it last a lot longer. These are upselling and selling items to customers. But it's something you need to learn if you're trying to run a business, innit? Because there'll be certain things that you'd make more of a margin off than others. Everyone's success in the trade looks different, right? I just want people to understand that. You learn from your mistakes, and some people blame others when mistakes happen. That's just how the trade is. You'd never take them things too seriously. So we all know that the cost of living is expensive. It's very high in London at the moment. Materials are high as well. Customers are spending less in the trade. So we need to do different things. And this is why it brings me back to the point of when I said you need to learn the science of the game, right? People are spending less money. Materials are more. The cost of living is still high. But we all still need your boiler replaced. If there was a leak, you're still going to need a plumber to come around and fix it. If your heating system needed to be installed in your new property, what you just bought, you're going to need a plumber again. Bathroom renovations. Give us a call, mate. There are endless options, even though people are not spending like how they used to, right? Commercial maintenance is still a massive part of plumbing, right? You've got installation and you've got maintenance. So commercial maintenance is still thriving. Regardless if people have never really been into it. You know, I worked with a guy, and I think he was like in his late 40s. He had never done a maintenance job before. He's an electrician, right? And he started working with us, and he was getting a lot of weekends in. And one weekend he came to me, he said, "Jay, I've never made so much money in my life. Like, I've absolutely killed it. Like, you've made sure that you brought me on every single weekend, and that's what I do, man. We're here to collect. Like, you don't have to go to sites anymore to make that type of money. You can get that from a maintenance job." You have to invest within yourself, right? The biggest problem is asking yourself, when was the last time I invested in myself? When was the last time I went on a course? What course did you take this year? I want to ask people in the comment section. If you've been a plumber, if you've been an electrician, if you've been a carpenter, what course did you take this year? And there are many regulation books, whether they be water regs or whether they be 18th edition. What books have you read within this trade, people? I'm asking you guys who are subscribed to the channel, or if you're just watching it, what books have you read? What business skills have you learned this year? Because it's always a good question to ask yourself. And what new qualifications have you gained? Because even I ask myself, you know, being a plumber for 23 years, yeah, having the same level of qualifications over the trajectory of my career for the last 20 years, yeah, it's not really acceptable. I can only accept that I'm going to receive the same types of jobs with the same level of qualifications. I have to up my game. I have to increase my value. And let me ask you this after you answer any of those questions in the comment section, because I appreciate you guys doing that, or even if you're in the chat. What have you done to increase your own value this year? Because if you can answer these questions honestly and openly, yeah, it gives you a good answer why you're not possibly getting somewhere. And again, I wanted to make this video to just bring it up a little bit of clarity to people and say, you know, if you haven't made it yet, just like myself, yeah, there is no point in giving up. The skills what you learn over the years build you like building blocks. I watch so many people from afar, understand what they do, whether they're building themselves a social media presence, whether they're building a brand online, an identity. People are turning up for them. People are supporting them. I know it's been an ask for me for a while. People have been asking me for a plumbing course, which is something I will definitely do when I sort out everything on my YouTube channel. I would say in the next month or so, I'll be sorted out with a few more things which I will be adding. I'll definitely be adding a members section as well, which YouTube will allow me to put up some exclusive content on there for my members. And I'll definitely start off a Patreon, and I've told people about the WhatsApp mentoring group, which I will definitely do to help people with everything what I've kind of said in this video, which is about building yourself up, understanding how to quote, pricing, where you should be looking for your new next job from, how you're going to get leads, how you're going to create traffic towards your social media or your website. I'm going to go through all of those things. And I did tell people a little while ago, I had a conversation about people paying for ads online, right? So advertisement space. I'm actually going to get a gentleman on very soon on a live stream, and we're going to talk and chop it up and ask how much it actually costs to advertise in certain spaces, because these are things which I feel that my community, who are generally plumbers, tradespeople, and people that just want to understand about it, they'll get a decent understanding, about how much it costs for you to advertise in that space. I think that conversation will be interesting, because we all know that everything now is online, innit? Like, it's all digital. So I've always been someone who's been an activist for content, putting yourself out there, and I've got enough experience to be able to talk about most of the other stuff, but with the AdSense and stuff like that, I don't know so much about it. But I had someone approach me, and I've actually asked him if he would be interested on being on a live stream where we talk about it, and we can get a good understanding of how much it is actually going to cost you as a company to advertise in a certain space, because they're all going to be different rates. But what I want people to take away from today is, because you've not sometimes seen the science within the industry on how it's moved, whatever trade you're in, right? It doesn't mean that it's not worth it. It's just sometimes that we don't even have our fucking blinkers on. We're not looking at where it's happening. So I mentioned in this video a few times that there's infrastructure being built all over the world, right? Projects are going up. They're needing people. Tradespeople have definitely got a lot of jobs at opportunities to us, if it's for you, if you get what I mean. Like, Saudi could be for me if the money's right. Dubai could be for me if the money's right. Australia could be for me if the money's right. So could Canada. And so could somewhere in the UK as well. As long as I am reinvesting in myself, as long as I am upgrading the qualifications what I have got, and making sure it's always a building up process, making sure that I am running Mr. London Plumber properly, making sure that I am quoting, invoicing, keeping track of my business, understanding where I'm going wrong, making spreadsheets and stuff like that. These are some things what I'm going to be adding into my group and stuff like that. I'll be talking about stuff like that with the WhatsApp group. But I said to you before, that's a paid WhatsApp group. So again, if it's not for you, you know, I understand that money is tight for some people, and you choose where you spend it, innit? So it is what it is, people. But I've enjoyed this stream, and if you found this stream helpful in any type of way, subscribe to the community, people, because we are... How many subscribers am I at now? I'm at 4,670. I need to get to 5k, so I need your help. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, I'd definitely appreciate it. My name is Mr. London Plumber. Make sure that you drop a comment. Tell me where you're watching the live stream from, and what did you think about the information? You know, like, my take was that you've got to study the science. You've got to see the moves within the game. I have worked underneath a lot of companies to be able to learn how to build my own. Whether it was mistakes, what I've seen them do, or things which I said to myself, oh, I'm going to start doing that. Or if I buy this machine, I can start now unblocking drains. And that would be another service which I can add on to. And it's an emergency service as well, something that people pay for. So instead of someone going to a drainage company, they can come to a plumber, Mr. London Plumber. And if you have got a problem like that, you know, DM me on Instagram, I'll get back at you. Anyway, people, I want you to like, share and subscribe, and I'm definitely going to see you on the next upload, people.